Welcome back to Feel Better with Lauren. I'm Lauren. Thanks for joining me. I was walking by a room the other day and I heard some strange noises inside. So I opened up the door and inside there was a man. He stood on the other side of the room and ran across and threw himself against the wall, screamed in pain, and stopped. He took a moment and just breathed, and then he went back to the other side of the room again. Poised, ran up against the wall, screamed in pain as he hit the wall, and then stopped. He did this over and over again, and at one point I stopped him and I said, "Hey, what are you doing? You keep running across the room and throwing yourself against the wall. That must really hurt." And he said, "Yeah, it really does." And he goes, "Well, why would you do that?" And he said, "Because it's so great when the pain subsides." Sometimes we've got to do some difficult and challenging things and get through them. You have to do something good for yourself every day, and sometimes that's hard. But if you do something good for yourself every day, you will feel better. The hardest part of doing these exercises every day is not the actual exercises. And there's always a way to do the exercise easier if you don't feel up to it. It's not even the time it takes. I seem to have enough time to scroll and do all those things. It's actually the discipline to go and start doing that. And once I do that, I'm okay. And that's the part that I really have to push. Anyways, if you've made it here, I hope that means it's because you've pushed yourself to get here. And from here on out, it's smooth sailing downhill. So let's just take a quick, easy one today. We're going to start standing and just get some movement around. If there's nobody around. Nobody cares what you look like. It's kind of silly. Move your arms around as much as you can. Hopefully you have a little bit of room. Hopefully you've got some good air around you. Just move around and just see where your body is resisting or where it's not feeling good or where it's feeling tight. You can put your arms over your head. There's no non-silly way to do this. But as you move, you can sort of feel yourself getting in touch with your body a little bit more. And just slow down for a little bit. Have yourself moving around. And as you slow down, just stop and we'll take and get rid of all that stale air out of our lungs, in through our nose and out through our mouth. And as we breathe in through our nose, bring your arms above you and let all that air come in and then blow all that air out through your mouth. And another big inhale in and all the way out. And one more big inhale in and all the way out through your mouth. Anything that becomes a little bit too challenging, you never ever want to feel pain in this. Drop your knee down if you need to, stand up, take a child's pose, which is with your knees together and arms out. Just hold on and just keep on going through this. This is not going to take all that long and you will feel better at the end of it. Let's stand rather with our feet shoulder width apart. We're going to only breathe in and out through our nose. That's that ujjayi breathing. That's where you restrain the back of our throat like we're breathing out onto a mirror, but with our mouth closed. And keep breathing that way in and out through your nose for the whole time. We'll take just a few moments here just to feel that breath going in and out of our lungs. Now, a big inhale up with our hands all the way back and our hips kicked out. And exhale into that prayer. And inhale again. Arms above our head, hips kicked out. And exhale into that prayer position again. And once more. Inhale in, kick our hips right out, and then exhale. Slowly fold to a forward fold. This might take a little bit of getting used to for the moment. You might be a little stiff of where you started. Support yourself however you want. But just get to a little bit of stillness and a little bit of your top part of your body hanging like a rag doll. I like to do what's called gorilla, which is standing on my feet. I'll just sit there for a few moments. Move my microphone. And as you sort of hang there, you should feel your back expand a little bit. You should feel your head sort of go ragdoll a little bit more. And maybe you can straighten your legs a little bit more and get that stretch in the back of your legs. Now interlace your hands behind you and let your arms fall above you. And slowly let your arms fall down. Do a squat down into a little ball and then inhale all the way up to the top and into that prayer position. Now take one giant step forward, as slow as controlled as you can, and we'll go down into a lunge, a crescent lunge, with your hands above your head, like you're holding a big beach ball above your head. Keep your butt tucked underneath. Now put your left arm forward, your right arm back, and twist with your torso. It's okay if you're going to fall or come out of balance. And then your left arm up into the sky, your right arm, and we're going to do a forward straddle fold. So put your toes faced in a little bit and just bend over. So your toes are facing in a bit. You're out and you're going to hang again here. Now, your next inhale, a halfway lift, like you're in a football pose. And then exhale down again. And inhale, halfway lift. And then rotate, drop one knee down into a low lunge. And your arms above your head, feeling good stretch in your thighs there. And your right arm forward, your left arm back, and you rotate again. Now keep your arms straight. Drop your right leg down and lift up your knee if you can, or maybe you can't. And last breath in, down into this lizard lunge. So your hands inside your left leg. And get a good stretch here. If you want to open up your knee a little bit, keep your back straight. And then inhale, and then exhale back to a plank facing the other way. Keep your shoulder blades apart, your butt about the same height as your shoulders. Just push that ground away. Now we'll walk up to the other side into a ball, and then rise up again, hands over your head, and back to the prayer position. And inhale, and then a slow step forward to crescent lunge on the other side. Your left foot facing in a little bit so you can see the first two toes. Your arms above your head, like you're holding a beach ball. Tuck your tailbone underneath. Keep your core going. Then your right arm forward, your left arm back. You're using your torso to twist. And then inhale. Your right arm goes up, your left arm goes, and we straddle on the other side. Your toes pointed in a little bit. And hang there. Maybe you can go down a little further this time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward, a fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then rotating the other way, drop your left knee down. And a lunge on the other side. Feel a nice stretch here. Again, you should see your first two toes above our heads. Everything's engaged. Your core is engaged, your butt's engaged. You're getting a nice stretch. Nothing's hurting. Your left arm goes forward. Use your torso to rotate it. And then your left arm goes down, your right arm up. You can lift up your knee rather, to the sky. And last inhale in. And exhale, the lizard lunge on this side. Inhale. And back to a plank on this side. Tighten it, clean everything up. Push away. And we're going to stay on our toes. Drop our knees. And get that stretch in our toes. All the way back. Our hands in front. The eyes of our elbows facing forward. And once we start feeling a good stretch on our feet, not discomfort, but we're doing something, we can move with it a little bit. Right now, my toes are just all readjusting. In a moment, they've sort of started to relax. And now I can inhale forward, exhale back. Every time I go forward, I stretch my wrists. Every time I go back, I stretch my toes. Now, whilst we're here, our hands go forward a little bit into tabletop. Untuck your toes, or keep them tucked if you'd like. And you can drop your belly to cow on an inhale and push away on an exhale for cat. And then let's do a sort of barrel roll with our breath, dropping it, pushing away, dropping your belly, pushing away, dropping your belly. Let's go the opposite direction. Last one. Inhale, our belly drops. Exhale, the cat. And then let's relax. Put our toes closer together, our knees apart, and into child's pose. And let everything settle there. Your head can touch the mat. Your hips on your heels as much as you can. As you relax, everything will sort of fall flat down. Now, whilst we're in that position, almost drag your nose along the mat with your butt in the air. And then as your butt goes down, your chest goes up into a cobra. And keep your butt flexed to help you with your back. You can open up your legs a little bit more if that helps. And one more inhale. And relax down onto the mat. Sit on you put your head onto your forearms and just smooth your hips a little bit because we don't want them to not lock up at all. Now, onto your toes if you can. Your arms go beside your shoulders and beside your chest and push all the way up again to that plank. And instead of going up to a downward dog today, we're going to put our right leg out to the side and then to our chest. And then we're going to cross our leg down in front of us for pigeon pose. So untuck your back toes. Your if you want to keep your right foot flexed so that it keeps your knee straight, because there's a lot of leverage that can go on your knee. You can go and push up out of your push up off the ground here, and if you want, you could put a block underneath this hip to give you some extra support. Once everything, again, we want to let it just settle. Nothing should be hurting. If you feeling pressure on your knees, tuck your knee in even further back. Tuck your foot in further back. If you're not feeling any stretch, you can put it out a little bit. But be really careful of your knee here. Then inhale, if you can walk down for what's called sleeping pigeon. I'm going to go on my forearms. You could go as flat as you'd like. And you should be feeling a good, intense, but not uncomfortable stretch in your outside hip. And just breathe into that a little bit. On your next inhale in, and exhale, just push yourself slowly back up. Lean onto your right, onto your hip, and bring your left leg all the way around. And see if you can line up your knees. I can't, I can do a bit. And we're gonna, this is called cow pose, cow face. Your goal is to line up your two knees above each other. But again, you don't want to hurt, but you're just feeling this great stretch on the side. Now, you're going to take your right leg, straighten it. Take your left leg, put it in on the ground just where your thigh is. Your left arm goes behind, and you're going to push up. Put your hips all the way forward. You get a good stretch along your side, and you're supported by your leg. Now your right arm is going to come down. Your left leg comes out from underneath. And we're back to plank on this side. Tidy it all up. Get yourself nice and stable. Push the ground away. Separate your shoulder blades. And now you're going to bring your left leg out. And then up to your chest. And then fold over this side for pigeon on this side. Let your right leg untuck. And again, you don't want to feel any pressure on your knee. It's all about stretching your outside hip. Keep your foot flexed. Push up out first. Let everything settle. And then on the next inhale, if you're feeling it, walk forward and go down to sleeping pigeon on your forearms, or you can put your arms straight out if that's how you want to sleep. And again, we're not forcing. If you're not falling down at all, that's fine. You're just trying to get that sensation, that stretch on your left hip. And just rest there, and you'll feel your body reshape itself into this position. After a while, your body just relaxes into that. And then inhale. Exhale, push yourself up. And we're going to lean over onto our left hip. Bring your right foot all the way around. And again, we'll try to line up our knees on this side. And I find that you have different on different sides. We're just leaning in and stretching there. Again, I recommend keeping your feet flexed, especially if you feel any stress on your knees. And if you feel anything that's even remotely painful, just back off of it. It's a lot of leverage on that. Now, we're going to straighten our left leg, put our right leg into our hip, and our right arm behind, and then push up with our hips. Really flex those butt. One last time down. Inhale. And exhale. Come back down to a seated position with your feet in front of you. We'll do a reverse tabletop while we're here. Your feet and hands all facing the same direction. Flex your butt. Push it up to the sky. Sort of dig in with your heels, and your head can either flop back or forward, however's comfortable for you. You can move around a little bit if you want. Careful of the leverage on your shoulders, but sometimes nice to feel that stretch. And inhale, and you're going to put your butt down with your feet stay in a position, and your butt goes down by your heels. Inhale, get some sun on your chest. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, sun on your chest. Exhale, bend your elbows. And one last time. Inhale, some sun on your chest. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, reach all the way far forward. Just stretch your shoulders and your back, and grab your feet as you go down into happy baby. I'm on a bit of a slope. And here you can move your legs around a little bit if you'd like. You can rock back and forth on your back, or you can just find a little bit of stillness and just sort of relax as your hips sort of fall towards your armpits. Once everything moves, you're grabbing the outside of your feet if you can, but you can grab underneath your thighs if that's better. You can grab on your shins, whatever is comfy. And then, as we often do, our right leg goes over top of our left for a figure four. This is a supine pigeon, so similar stretch, but you'll find it stretches a little lower onto the back of your thigh. Lean a little bit to the left and pull your knee to your chest, and keep your feet really flexed, and that'll keep your knees in line. And just breathe into this, relaxed. By this time, I've always got my eyes closed. One last breath in. And as you exhale, continue to cross your feet, your legs over each other, and you'll lean to the left side. Your left arm goes onto your right thigh. Your right arm falls out behind, and you look at your right hand if you can. If you can't, don't sweat it either. Just stretching over. This is nice and gentle. You can make it more intense if you want. Again, you're never pushing towards where there's painfulness, but you might just feel that nice stretch, that perfect spot. And one last inhale. And then exhale, sort of roll back, hug your knees to your chest, and then cross your left leg over your right side. Reach through and lean a little bit to your right, and you'll feel that stretch at your hip and below your thigh. And again, keep your feet nice and flexed. That'll keep your knees in line. And just breathe, relax into it. I mean, you can see I don't go that close to my chest. You may be a lot less. You may want to reach underneath. You may want to reach just the top of your foot. If you can do any part of this, you're actually doing all right. One last big breath in. And cross your legs over. Lean over to your right for that twisted root. Your right arm goes onto your thigh. Your left arm falls back. You just relax into that. One last inhale in. And exhale, roll back. Squeeze your knees to your chest. Just lining up everything again. Put your heels down. Put your hands by where your heels touch. And we're going to push up out of our heels into a bridge pose. Let's attach our hands underneath our body if you can. If not, you can just tuck your tailbone and just push out. You'll feel this in your quads, but you want to keep your butt flexed. This is good for your pelvis. And just relax into this as well. Just breathing in and out through your nose. And inhale, you go up on your toes, your arms above your head, and as slow as you can, one vertebrae at a time, your back goes to the ground. Your knees to your chest. Give an extra hard squeeze to line everything up. And then your feet to the corners of your space, your mat, what have you. And your shoulder blades tucked under with your hands facing the sky. And let you breathe how you want to breathe. And that little bit of discomfort, hopefully you're through to the other side. And if you lay here in this corpse's pose just for a few minutes, you will feel better. And see you in the next video. Always talk to your healthcare professional before starting a new regime. If you experience pain, discomfort, or dizziness, slow down or stop. These videos will become easier each day, but if it doesn't feel right today, go slower or move to another video. Listen to your body.